Screeching in. Hi, everybody. Hey, it's Lisa with the Stamping Zoo. How are you all doing tonight? I am great, believe it or not. However, you know how time flies when you're having fun? Well, in my older years, I've come to find that time just flies, period. So you may as well have fun because it's going to fly regardless. So hello everyone, it's Lisa Harden with the Stamping Zoo, coming to you from what is beautiful today, beautiful Boise, Idaho. And you know, I would tell you if it's not going to be my favorite come late June and July, but right now is my favorite. We have had a day of rain and now the sun's out. So it looks beautiful. And I had this in my mind, this project, I had this in my mind all day. Now, of course, I couldn't work on it all day. And then to add conflict to that, I even ended up staying later at work than I thought I would. So we'll just see. We're either going to make a really super cool card or we're going to color a pretty stamped image. Hopefully, I'm hoping for both. But you know what? I'll be okay if we just get a pretty stamped image. Anyway, I'm already so glad to see you all jumping on tonight. I'm sorry I had you waiting. And you know, that's how it goes sometimes, correct? Yes. So like I said, I was coming home late from work and, you know, then I had this in mind. What we're going to attempt to make tonight is the Magic Slide fold card. It's kind of the granddaddy of all fun folds, right? Now I wish I had an example to show you right now, but I don't, because guess what? We're going to make it together. That's why I say you never know. This is the start of it, okay? So the concept of the Magic Slide card, and please let me know if you've made one before, is that we are going to put we're going to color this very bodacious colors, right? A beautiful bouquet. And then it's going to appear that it's black and white, and you will pull on a tab up here, and then magically it will be colored. This is really fun. I haven't done this in a long time, which was why I thought it was a great idea to just try and do it cold, right? Oh, brother. Must be nervous laughing that I'm doing. All right, so this is the only card we're going to do tonight. I just wanted like a meaty project. And remember I had last week, I think most of you probably popped on and saw how I organized my scraps, right? So I was like, okay, this is going to take some little scraps of white. And I just happen to know where to get some, and they're all organized. So anyway, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So thanks for sharing, ladies. Please, if you don't mind, I would love it if you shared this video to your friends and your Facebook friends. And you never know when one of them might want to be a little stamping buddy with you. Or they might want to follow the Stamping Zoo. Both are great. Okay? All right, so before we start this, I'm going to tell you that I will be posting, I'll make a blog post for this, as well as a Pinterest post. And that will be this weekend. Partly because I don't want this video to be all about the measurements and you writing down measurements and forgetting measurements and stuff. Let's just enjoy the process, right? And I want you to help me with colors and things like that. And then I will have a blog post that has all of the measurements, because I know you're going to want to make your own Magic Slider folding or Magic Slider card. I was going to put fold in there. No. So anyway, just know blog post is coming. All right. Okay. Now I've done a little bit of the work ahead. Certainly not all of it. But what we've got here is a little card base, and this is 3 3/4 by 10. So it's not our average card size, because we are going to have, we're going to put it on a back panel when everything's all done. Okay? Now, this is gray granite, and then I think the back panel is going to be basic gray. don't have it glued yet, so anything's up in the air. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's how you start. Is you cut your little card base, like I told you, it's 3 3/4 by 10. Scored at 5. Okay, then you want to get out your handy stitched rectangles. There never seems to be a never-ending use for stitched rectangles. Okay, this might be a little slim, but we're going to go ahead and use it. It's the 3rd largest rectangle. And you get that rectangle on the front by, you open this card up, okay? And then you just do this. Marion, my blog address is The Stamping Zoo. And thank you very much for asking. And yes, sometimes we do make all the mistakes, and then you know what not to do. That I consider that a valid public service of the demonstrator, don't you? Yes, I think that's what we're here for as well. So let's keep that in mind. Now I am using, I think most of you probably know, but tonight we're going to use this beautiful ornate style. It's from the new catalog, and it was on pre-order. So hopefully you have that already. And if you don't, I think you might want it after this. We'll give it a try anyway. I'll do my very best to talk you into it. All right. I am looking around for something I need for the die cut machine. I really hope I didn't take it into the kitchen. That would just top it off, wouldn't it? After we get started, I'm also going to tell you something funny about my office chair. So it's just crazy all around. Crazy times all around. Okay. No worries. We're going to use the Big Shot. I like the Big Shot. And I know where the plates are for the Big Shot, more importantly. Okay. Let's grab this guy. Hey, I hope all of you are doing well on Thursday night, by the way. You can tell me all about it. You can talk about anything you'd like. This is a forum for you to chit-chat. A lot of you know each other. And the good news is, if you're brand new to here, this is a very welcoming and fun group of people. So go ahead and say hi. Tell us where you're from. If it's your first time visiting the Stamping Zoo, and I'd love to hear from you. Hear what you like to do. See if you're a first-time stamper or anything like that. Let me know that. Kathy says she has the whole Ornate Garden Suite. Kathy, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You're a smart woman. Okay. So what we did there was we just cut a really cool stitched rectangle out of the center of the front of the card, because that's going to be our window where all the magic happens, right? Hi, Karen. Karen Kramer. Now, I might not be right about this, but I think you might be new. So, welcome. And very nice to see your name pop up. Anne says, Krista's baking a cake. Oh, yum. It's so good that you taught those kids to cook, because now you can rely on that, right? What kind of cake? I might have to come over after this. I'm not kidding, you guys. She lives close. It could be dangerous. Well, Susan, yeah, if you didn't go for Ornate yet, there's still plenty of time, because it is going to be in the annual catalog. It is in the annual catalog. And so we're going to be playing with this one for at least a year. Now, the next thing you want to do, so this was, and again, I said I wasn't going to get all tied up in the measurements. This is just a little bit smaller or a little bit larger than your window, okay? And so I've measured that for you. That will be on the instructions as well. But we're going to glue this in here right now before we stamp on it. A lot of these measurements, or what do I want to say? The construction of this card is kind of, I think it works best when you don't measure everything and then place it, where you actually just measure on the fly. You know what I mean? Where you measure when things are right in the card. Because then if you're like 1/8 of an inch off on one side and not the other, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Kind of like remodeling an old house, right? Nothing's square. So you just kind of go with it. All right, now we're bringing our friend the Stamparatus in. I love the Stamparatus. And I'm going to put this, I have lots of papers, but right now I'm going to put this in here. Now, here's one of the tricky parts. We're going to use both StazOn and Memento ink. Okay? So, this is your test. We want to color this tonight. I'm going to color this with blends. So I want to start with the Memento. Okay? So when I'm coloring onto this Whisper White card base, I'm going to ink up this beautiful bouquet of flowers. And the inside, I found that the inside's kind of doing that a little bit. So, and before you got here, I placed this inside the frame and it just fits. Right? I love that. So I got lucky there. It just fits. And so anyway, you stamp it in there. Gorgeous. I love it already. And then you can go ahead and take it out. And now I have a piece of our window sheet that is, it's clear, so it's hard to see. Already I've lost it. Oh gosh. It's probably with the plates for the Gemini. Okay, so you want this to be, it's going to be cinched up right at the top of the fold. So you're going to want this to lay, this here, it shows better this way. You're going to want this to lay in here centered, okay, and it's a little bit larger than the piece of white and a little bit larger than your frame. So you want it to be a solid covering of both those things. So you put it right up into the fold, fold it, place this down. Don't get nervous now because you have the Stamparatus to help you, remember? Hey, come on. You know those magnets are, they're not messing around. Okay, so now, I don't know if you can see the glare, but now you've got that piece of window sheet sitting up over the image that you already stamped. And remember, we have this in the same spot. This is why the Stamparatus is so invaluable for this. I think in the olden days you had to use the Stamp-A-Majig. And, you know, I'm not hating on the Stamp-A-Majig, but it's a whole different thing. Okay, so I am using StazOn because I'm stamping on window sheet. And that will dry on window sheet, whereas Memento will not. So if you get these inks mixed up in this project, the project won't work for both reasons. So just remember that that's going to be, I don't know if you want to be drinking while you're doing this project. You may want to hold off on that, okay? Now what you've got is you end up having your stamped image, right? And then you have the same exact stamped image on this window sheet. This has to sit, this has to be set aside somewhere where you're not going to put your hand in it, okay, for a little while. It just needs to dry, probably while you're just working on the rest of the project. Now I have done one, that is something I did get finished in advance because I knew that if it didn't look right, the project wasn't going to look right, correct? So here again is it's just this beautiful clear stamped image. Now you could use this for a number of different ways in a card. You could put this on the front of a card and have solid cardstock behind it. That's a beautiful way to use that. Oh yeah, okay. There we go. You can also make a mirror image just like I showed you. So then when you're done, or when we're done and we glue it in here, it's going to fit right over it. Okay, so that's part of the magic. It's like a big magic. It's like a big magic trick, right? And I'm showing you the magic behind, or the method behind the magic trick. Maria says, I challenge us all to drink while we make this, just for fun, to see what we come up with. You know, I think it's a great idea. We could, it would be like a version of Chopped, right? I think we should do a version of Chopped that way. Sounds perfect. Okay, now we're to the point where we want to color. So let's do a little bit of coloring. And I'll tell you all about the Super Deluxe, office chair I have. So I was thinking about using blues and maybe blending in some greens, and then one pop of color. I don't know what the pop is going to be, so you guys can help me decide that. Like maybe we'll do a couple of the flowers, not blue, but some other blend color. I kind of have an idea in mind, but why don't you, Marion, you need to stick around. You're awfully funny. Okay, so I need another color that's going to be our like pop of color against the blue. Okay, and because this, remember, this is going to look like a black and white card, and then when you pull it up, it's going to be full of color. So we want it to be like a wow card. That's totally fine. I am going to use probably, oh, how about Granny Apple Green and Old Olive? I kind of like that as a mix for the greenery. Yes, you're so welcome. Sherry says you don't need a drink to mess this up. Well, you know what, Sherry? I'm stone cold sober for sure. I'm a big talker, but I drink very rarely, actually. But anyway, no, I would not attempt that. I wouldn't attempt that at all. Now, we have also Pretty Peacock, Bermuda Bay. Now, don't forget, everybody, someone asked me about this today, so I just want to remind you, these are not going away. They're on the last call or the retiring list, but they're not going away. The only thing that's happening is the packaging is getting reformulated so that they're being sold in combos only, which is really the way they're usually bought. So I'm sure that's why they're making the change. So anyway, just keep that in mind. So look at all of the beautiful blues, and I may not even have all of them. Gorgeous. What a gorgeous collection. Well, I love Balmy Blue, so I'm going to use that for sure. Seaside Spray is going to be great because it's kind of a gray blue, and we're using gray as the background, right? So let's for sure use that. And there's that one. And then maybe, like, because these are kind of light and mid-tones, maybe a darker one for sure. What about Seafoam? I think that's Seafoam. Oh, what color is it? Oh, it's Mint Macaron. What about that? Because that kind of rides the line between blue and green. And then we can kind of mix our colors in. Let's start with those. Okay, and let's see what happens. And I'll do my very best to give this some life. Now, I have seen the artisans, especially like Tammy Hewitt. I remember she colored one of these, and it was so, I don't know, it was so lifelike. I couldn't even believe it. I think it takes a lot. I think it takes a little more than what I've got in my brain. My brain might be too mathematical. But the great thing with the blends is that you don't have to be an artist. You can just be your run-of-the-mill Stampin' Up! Stamper, and you can have these turn out fantastic. So right now I'm just using the blend of the Granny Apple Green blends, and I'm going to leave a little bit of white space for a couple of reasons. I might want to come in with another color, or I might just want to leave it. Right? That's the one thing that I've also noticed is a lot of these pictures that I really loved have a lot of white space. A lot more white space than I would think is you would want. So there's one thing I've just learned. Hey, lady yourself. Hi, Vic and Lori popping in. Okay, I am going to try to do a little bit of a close-up on this screen. Just a touch. I don't want it to be so close that you can see my little nubbins of nails, but I think it needs to be a little closer on the picture. Okay, this one is, oh, that's the Granny Apple Green. I wanted to come in with the Old Olive blends. So, Susan, I am coloring on the card. That's a great question. I am actually coloring on the card stock inside the card. We will not color on the acetate sheet, the window sheet, sorry. The window sheet's going to stay clear. So it's just set off to the side. But thank you for bringing that up because that's a good clarification. So just working in little circles here. I'm going to put some of this darker Old Olive right up near the flowers because then we can have some good contrast between that and a super bright color, whatever we're going to decide that to be. Let's see here. Oh, I love the colors. So fun. Okay, my chair. Back to my chair. So I think I've told you guys that I have a very cute little office chair. It's called a task chair. And it was perfect when I was going into the office and all day for every day. And then I would just come home and do Stampin' Up! Stuff at night. But when they had us come home and I started working in that chair for 8+ hours a day, it may have been really cute, but it was not so comfy. I felt like I was turning into stone every time I got up. So, after thinking about my options, I decided it was a great idea if I would go ahead and order a really nice office chair. So hopefully I have what is going to be a really nice office chair coming to me. I believe it's in the vicinity of Iowa right now, and hopefully it's going to show up and be lovely. In the meantime, I had that little office chair, remember? And I had decided that maybe I just needed to adjust it somehow. Well, I'm looking at it. It's off to the side right now. I have adjusted it somehow. I have no idea. Oh, thank God you're here, Michelle. I've been waiting for you. Come on. Okay, so I have adjusted that office chair. So it's basically, the seat is vertical. I'm not kidding. I will post a picture after this. I have no idea what I did to it, but if I try to sit in it, I will just slide right out. And this is so, and okay, it's not a complicated chair. All I did was adjust the height, and that was okay. And then there's another thing down there underneath the chair that you like crank on. It's in a circle. It looks like a circle. And I cranked on that a few times, and I'm guessing that's what did it. But before I realized like that it had changed, of course, I kept trying to sit in it, and I was like, what is going on? Am I getting super fat all of a sudden? Because I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I literally can't stay in this chair. And then really I stopped to look at it and I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, I'm currently sitting in a folding chair, a camping chair basically. And you know what? It's actually pretty comfortable. However, it's not swivel and it doesn't have wheels. So my quads are getting a workout because every time I have to get up and get something, I have to like pick this chair up. Anyway, COVID, right? COVID stories. Oh, brother. So funny. Okay, now, I'm sure that I've missed some of the color. In fact, we'll make this back behind the flowers. Some green, right? But, okay, it's stuck that way. Yeah, Roz, it's stuck. Like, then I tried to crank on this thing, this mystery thing that's down underneath there. And, it didn't change. So I have no idea. I think it's going to be a great project for the youth ranch. The youth ranch is probably going to get this chair, and somebody's going to love it because it is kind of comfortable if you're just hanging out for a little while. However, they're going to have to fix the vertical thing. That's not on me. It's beyond me. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know in this world. That's just one more thing on the list, right? So anyway, I was dealing with that for a few days before it dawned on me that, like, oh, yeah, you could stand to probably lose a few lbs, but that's not it. This chair has gone vertical. Now I'm just starting to mix in some of this color. This is light Granny Apple Green. I just kind of mixed it into the leaves. And again, I'm not super blending. I'm just kind of touching some areas, right? And you can see that I'm going between bullet end and paintbrush end. Kind of just depends on what I'm feeling like. This is a really good one for coloring because the lines are plenty thick enough that you don't have to worry about too much blend or too much bleeding over the lines. But it just works really well for that. So I do like that. It still has enough space and it has a lot of space in the image to put a lot of different colors, which is also super fun. Okay, let's see if I can. Ooh, that may have been a little too close. But you know what? That's okay. You'll never know. When we finish up, you'll never know. I should use the bullet end. And yeah, so anyway, it's stuck that way. And just looking through the comments real quick, I just didn't want to miss anybody. I'm so happy to see you all. Christine, hello. Hope you're doing well. And Christina, nice to see you too. What do you have around the magnets? Oh, Devonna, it's just washi tape. Yeah, to create little handles. So a very, very helpful little tip there. And it gets old or wears out, breaks off after a while, but you know, if you're like me, you have plenty of extra washi tape. I tend to use my old non-Stampin' Up! Washi tape or something that I just bought a lot of. And washi tape doesn't really seem to, I never seem to run out of it, really. It just keeps going and going. So anyway, so yep, that's what makes the little handles. Because the magnets are quite strong, which is fantastic. But yeah, that's what we need them to be. But then sometimes they want to fight. Oh, Donna, you told me a really good thing. Sometimes I need to be sitting in an office chair to be able to adjust them. They need some weight on the seat when you jiggle the handles. That's a very good point, Donna. And I tried that last night. And I slid out onto the floor. So, I'm telling you, I don't know what I've done to this thing, but it didn't like it. Okay, bring the color lifter in. I don't think this is going to make a huge difference, but notice there's just a tiny piece right here that I kind of want it to back off. So we have this beautiful color lifter. The color lifter is no color, right? You always should buy this. This should be like, if you're going to buy any colors, you should be buying one of these also. You don't need a million of them. You use them for any colors. And I think what it does, basically, it doesn't like erase the color. It moves the color. So when I have something like that where I've colored inside a flower, I literally am pushing the color out, back out where I want it. So just keep that in mind. And sometimes it'll create like a little bit of a water spot. So don't, you know, if you've created too much, if you colored too much outside the lines, then it's not going to fix it like that and be like invisible ink. You'll be able to see where it is. So, hello, Natasha. Yes, I know. Look at them. They're so beautiful, aren't they? Okay, so I'm going to start with light balmy blue. I don't know why, because I think that like I can add things over it, and if I end up not liking it, it's okay. We can add more of the different blues. all over it. So let's see here. Now I want to start. I'm going to make the colors. Well, I don't know. I think for right now I'll stick to solid. I'll use just the balmy blue on this flower. And then I'll bring my light in again. I kind of like to mix them that way. And just using little circles, I'm going to go ahead and color it. I'm still going to leave some parts white, okay? Because remember, I told you I learned that from artists much better than me, that some pieces need to be white. The thing I like about the blends too is, well, there's a lot of things, but even a single color, you can create different levels of color with just one single marker. They're kind of buildable. That's how I would describe them. So like I can go over the center. The center is light balmy blue. I know that's backwards, sorry. But I've been just coloring this one with light a few times. And I can see, at least, I don't know if it comes up on the camera, but I can see that it's starting to create its own different color that's different from just the light. So I hope you can see some of that. I know that, you know, it's never as good as just being here, right? Hanging out, coloring with me, having a good time. But just want to try and show you that. Hi, Suzanne and Lori. Nice to see you, ladies. From Ohio. Yay. Suzanne, our friend Suzanne from Canada. I'm going to put some of this mint macaron. I'm going to color the flowers that are closest to the leaves and see how I like that. Because remember, I was kind of calling that my transitional color between the greens and the blues. I don't know if it needs to be all that thought out. We might just end up making all sorts of colors. Yeah. Now, I would call these flowers primrose. I think they're the perfect kind of design, though, because they're a little nondescript in that they're not anything in particular. And even if primrose come in lots of different colors, but they're just nondescript enough that you can color them whatever you want, right? And so then just kind of going over a couple different places, again, to create some shading. And I do like those as that color a lot. Susan says, do you have a purchasing suggestion on the blends? Which ones to buy first? Well, Susan, I'm sure lots of people will pipe in, and I think that's great. Hello, Diana and Lynn, seeing you jump on. What I think is either you should buy blends for a project that you have specifically in mind, or you should buy blends based on the colors you like, or both. Okay, so like if you have a stamp that's like this, that's obviously lends itself to lots of coloring, I think you should focus on like a couple of different colors you like. For me, I knew that I was going to want a green. Like sometimes you can choose maybe your favorite set of blends out of each color family. So you might like one set that's kind of red, one set that's kind of green, one set that's kind of pink. You know what I mean? So I would definitely, like, if you're just starting to build your collection, I would start that way. Because then you have something that's kind of close. You know, you're like, well, I don't have all 5 colors of blue, but I have blue. So I hope that gives you some ideas. It's kind of how I kind of recall doing it. I don't know for sure now. Oh yeah, this is a good color. So this is Seaside Spray, and this is the one that really is also a really good bridge between blue and gray. And it's just a beautiful color. It's an in color. We have one more year with Seaside Spray, everybody, so enjoy it. I think it will go well with the new in colors also. That's your confusion. Well, that's true, Susan. Very few people get all of the blends all at once. I didn't. I just kind of started a little bit at a time. And of course, I was teaching classes when the blends came along. So I would just decide on what stamp sets I wanted to feature in the class. And then I would choose, you know, maybe 3 blends, 3 different colors of blends that I thought would work well in the project. And then that's how I started. And sometimes I think you have to allow yourself to just get some of them because you love a certain color. I think that's really fun too. Just be like, I love rich raspberry, and there are rich raspberry blends, so I will have them. Now I have dogs in here all of a sudden. They've decided to come in. Tango is trying to look for the toys in the closet. I can't say that too loud. They were with their dog walker today, so they're a little more tired out than usual. This is very helpful, believe me. Now, the only thing I did different on this side was I colored the centers with dark balmy blue. No, I'm sorry, dark Seaside Spray. And then I colored them with mint macaron again. So, I don't know, just a little different. Kathleen says she buys 2 sets with every order. That is a great idea. And she started with the greens. So yeah, make it like, kind of like when you buy Whisper White, you know, set aside a little bit of your budget so that you can get 2 a month or 4 a month or whatever your budget allows. But that's a great idea. And then all of a sudden you realize you have so many blends. Now this is the Rococo. Oh, that's so pinky. I don't think I want that in this. I think I'm going to go with my first idea, which was Rich Raspberry. Where is that now? Because I do like Rich Raspberry. Let me see how it plays off. So I always have the, you know me, and the grid paper, little scraps of paper, whatnot. Yeah, I think we're going to do at least one of these big flowers. Let me start with the light, but it's going to be the light Rich Raspberry. Now, I don't know how this bouquet is going to shape up. We're going to give it a try. And anyway, I hope everybody is having fun looking at the catalog. I hope a lot of you have received your catalog. I don't know if you're one of my regular customers, would you please tell me whether or not you've received a catalog? I sent mine out through the standard mailing direct from the company. I thought it might be a little quicker this time given our COVID postage situation. Things are taking a little bit longer. Now, you can also get a catalog from me. Those I received. I order some specifically to have for customers. And if you're in the United States and you don't have a demonstrator that you already work with, I would love to send you a catalog. I do charge $10 for them, but I give it right back to you. I give you $10 off of your first order. And if you are an existing customer of mine, I send it to you complimentary. So I just want to put that out there. Like I said, I would love to send you a catalog. I just put one in the mail. I don't want to misspeak the name. Very nice lady who's very excited to get her catalog. She should be getting it tomorrow or the next day. So I send them priority. Okay, so just know that, oh, Susan says her catalog comes tomorrow. Nice. Very nice. Oh, okay, Susan has a good idea too. You thought you'd get to one family. Get all packs of paper, ink refills, blends, and markers. Too much. Well, yeah. When you put it all that way, there's a lot, right? But again, just work on getting something that inspires you, something that you can use, I'd say right away, you know? and just enjoy it. You can, there's time to collect. There's no rush, right, everybody? Everybody kind of knows that, right? I think that's one of the really nice things about our hobby is that you can have really any different price point. You can do lots of things with a very small budget. So it's really nice. And then you can also sometimes splurge and get lots of favorite things. That's fun too. I'm not dissing that. And I don't think a lot of us are going to be traveling anytime soon, so just keep that in mind. Maybe your stamping budget's going to get a little bit bigger. I'm going to put a little bit of the dark. The dark seemed almost pretty dark, but I'm not going to color all these light spaces. I'm kind of liking them. I'm going to kind of flick a little bit of color in here on several of the leaves. I don't want to belabor this and keep you forever, but I am having fun, I have to tell you. After a day of number crunching, I just like to kind of get in here. I have a lot of fun things going on my calendar, even though we can't meet for face-to-face classes now. I'm hoping that's coming in our near future. But you know what? It's okay because I have a lot of fun things planned. Right now I have 2 classes that are available to be sent directly to you, or an online version. So that is a stamp set and punch. It's beautiful. It's going to carry over to the annual catalog. So like I normally say, why not buy it now and save 10%? And for anyone who makes a minimum order of $25 with me, you can earn that class for free. And the class is that I send 4 card kits to you. And I send you an invitation to an exclusive Facebook group. And we post lots of different pictures there. And then I do a live tutorial and we put the 4 cards together. Does that make sense? We put the 4 cards together. And I haven't been speaking long, don't worry. Anyway, so it's a really fun way to still connect, and at the end of that you have 4 beautiful cards to give away, right? And then the other class that I have is I'm doing this month the No Stamp Camp. So my normal class during the month is called Stamp Camp, and what I'm doing in lieu of that is I am sending out supplies for 5 different cards. 5 different designs, and they include no stamping. So the designs are all made up of punches or maybe some pre-printed sentiments and lots of fun colors and DSP and everything non-stamping that's Stampin' Up. I really love the kit from last month, and so I am sure this month hopefully it will be just as well received. And that comes with a printed PDF that I just emailed to you, so it's full color, and the cards are so simple to assemble that they don't really require a video. So okay, I don't know. I do not know about this. I may have to rethink those blue daisies, but what do you think about this? Should we blend more? Should we do more? What do you think, everyone? Hello to Mommy. Nice to see you. Yes. Okay, so I'll give you a moment to comment on that. I'm getting some hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts. I think that it's a little spotty looking, but I kind of want it to be that way because, again, that's how I see lots of people color, and I'm really liking it. So while you're commenting on that, here is the cover of the beautiful catalog. I'm really taken with it. I think it's gorgeous. So if you think the cover is beautiful, wait until you see what's inside. I can't show you now. I cannot show you until it goes live. And it goes live on June, I want to say 2nd. Where's the date? Oh, I can't look there. I believe it's June 2nd, you guys. It might be June 3rd. But anyway, so like I said, if you need one and live in the United States, please let me know, because I'm happy to get one in the mail to you tomorrow. And I'll probably put a couple little goodies in there too. You know, maybe some cards or some information about classes. I don't know. I usually put extra things in there, and I just kind of put whatever I think of that sounds fun. Oh, Wink of Stella. That's a great idea. Yes. I'm going to get the Wink of Stella out right now. Okay, I need to put some of these away, or they're going to be in our way. It may be June 4th, Sherry. I'm sorry if I'm giving the false date. I said that last night, and then I was like, I think I'm stuck on the 2nd, but I don't know why. 3rd of June. Thanks, Leslie. Okay. Right between the 2nd and the 4th, of course. The 3rd of June. So everything is available. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Lots of things are available until June 2nd, but that's when they retire. That's the last day before things that are not continuing on retire. And they may or may not be available until that date. Okay? So you just have to kind of go with your gut. And if you think you should buy something now, because it might be sold out, then I think you need to do that. Okay. Wink of Stella. Vic tells me Wink of Stella, and I think, oh, good idea. I think that when I color this again, because I will make a card like this again in the near future, I'm going to totally change up the colors. I'm not sure. I think I'm in like with it, but I'm not really in love with it. But that's okay. I think the effect is still going to be the same. What I really wanted to show you tonight is the Magic Slider card. So, okay. Let's go with that. Let's just leave it like that for now. Okay, now we're going to start building up a track so that we have a place to put the slider part into this card. And again, I think that it's a lot easier if you don't do all of the measurements ahead of time. Because if you're off even just a little bit, then it doesn't work. It's better to just fit it when you can do that. Okay. So what we're basically going to build is, this is going to end up being up here. And there's going to be this white part that slides up and reveals the card. Okay, so in order to do that, I've cut a lot of these pieces of Whisper White that came out of my scrap, what do I call it now? It's not my scrap box anymore. It's my scrap envelope. So my white scrap envelope. And we're going to use our tear and tape. We're going to build this with our tear and tape. So I made these a 1/16 of an inch wider than the tear and tape, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/16. Okay. So what we want to do here is we want to start with either side, and we're going to put 2 layers of track, and we're going to run the track directly along the outside edge of the cardstock. You may end up seeing my hair in this because I have to see that. I have to see where I'm putting that crazy thing. Okay, so we're going to do 2 layers. And this is where I was thinking, oh gosh, I should have probably had a little wider border on the outside, because you have to be pretty specific, pretty detailed with where you're putting this. However, the Ornate Garden wouldn't fit in anything smaller. So we're just going to give it a try. Oh gosh, you've never made a card like this, Kathy? Well, it's like a lot of things in life. Just take it step by step. And then before you know it, you've made it. Right? Okay, so we're laying one down, and then I'm going to frost it again. Just think of like a 2-layered cake. Okay? So we're frosting it again. And good office lighting is a good idea when you're doing this kind of a card. I highly recommend it, especially if you're going blind like me. I'm not really going blind. I shouldn't say that. You know what I mean. My eyesight's not great. Let's put it that way. And this is definitely a place where you want to use the Take Your Pick tool. It's so helpful. So then again, I'm going to line these up. Now, I measured these and cut them beforehand. And by measuring, I mean I just measured how long one side of the card was. Okay, and then I cut it. And then I cut the other ones after it. I didn't measure it. I don't know how long it is. See, because even this one is a tiny bit. It was like I cut it at an angle, and so it was just a tiny bit too long. So don't bother yourself with measuring every little piece. Some of it you're just going to measure directly on the card. So we're going from top to bottom. Oh my gosh, I'm a little nervous. I hope this works out. If not, like I said, it's going to be a really pretty picture. Oh man. You know what? I'm glad that you're here with me though. It makes me a little less nervous. Okay, so laying down the first layer. And again, just getting it right on the edge. And then giving it another layer of frosting. Love our tear and tape. It is carrying over. Plus, we're going to have a lot of, several new selections, I would say, for adhesives. Kind of excited. Because, you know, a card is only as good as its adhesives. That's why I only use Jumpin' Up adhesives, because I think I've told you before, when I was young and foolish, I would try to use other types of adhesives before that. I found at Joann's or something stupid, and they never held. They never held. Either they would fall apart while I was trying to put them on the card, or the card would fall apart later. That's so maddening. So, just an FYI. Learn from me. Okay? All right. So we have our tracks on either side. Looks good on the bottom. I'm just looking to see if anything needs to be trimmed. Now, what you need to do is we need some for the bottom, right? So we have to just, again, this is how I measured it. I just took one edge, put it in there, and then I put the other one right up here, okay? And just do a pencil mark. And then I cut that one. And then I'm going to cut another one just like it. And then we'll have 2 layers on the bottom. Hi, Teresa. Nice to see your name pop up. I hope you're doing well. We are making a magic slider card today. And so then this is going to be the final piece for the very bottom of it. You don't like watching instructors who seem perfect. Oh, well, thank goodness, Roz. I am not, and I repeat, not the Martha Stewart of card making. And sometimes, like somebody else just said, I think they were kind of teasing, but it's very true. Like, it's kind of fun to watch somebody else and then see what what trips them up, because then you'll know, like, oh, right, she did that one thing and it wasn't wide enough or whatever. And so I'm not going to do that. So we are doing, like I said, we're doing a little bit of experimentation with the measurements here, because what I would prefer is to have a little bit wider border. But I'm living on the edge. Okay, so then you just do the same thing down here in this final part. Okay, Sherry, we'll catch you later. Oh my goodness, you stay safe. Tornadoes are just east of her. Goodness. Everybody's dealing with so many different things, right? Apparently there was, so we had an earthquake here, I don't know, a month ago. Apparently there was one again last night. I was oblivious. I was sitting right here in my camp chair and I didn't feel a thing. I don't think. And I was like kind of disappointed. I'm like, dang it, obviously I'm not meant to feel the earthquake ever. So great. But yeah, apparently we had another one. It's like sizable. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm going to try and hold this up. Gosh, I'm starting to think that coloring looks kind of funky, but just pretend it's beautiful. I'm going to try and hold this up and let you see. There's basically like a 3-sided picture frame around the original stamped image because I have 2 layers. So we built it up there. So we have 2 layers. They're going to sit right underneath our frame. We don't see them, right? Because they're just right underneath that thin frame. Oh yeah, okay, I can see my playback now. It's a little delayed. So that's what I wanted to show you is you want to try and work pretty clean and you don't want to have a bunch of extra adhesive that will get in the way. Now, I need to build that. Remember I told you we're going to have this window. So I need to build that. And I do need a paper trimmer. And I may start out by measuring this, but really, I think what I want to do is just measure it this way. I'm scared, y'all. Okay, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to measure this one. And, oh, Natasha, I'm going to tell you right now, Vic Ann lives, well, I want to say she lives in Maryland, but I don't think that's right. However, she goes live right before me. She goes live at 8:30 her time, 6:30 Mountain Time. And then, so lots of times when I'm getting ready, I watch her and then she cruises on over here after she's done. And she has a really cool dog named Winston. So anyway, what I've got here, according to the old official Tim Holtz ruler, is 3 1/8. Okay, so taking this over now to my paper trimmer, and you all can see my horrid nails. It's a shortcoming of mine. I think we've talked about this before because I've always had beautiful, nice acrylic nails. This is what happens during COVID, right? We can handle it because as far as real things in life, it's not that important. However, I will tell you, I'm going in next Tuesday and I'm taking time off because she was like, I can take you at 2. And I'm like, okay, great. Okay, what we have now is I'm going to show you this again. This, you guys, I think you can see it really well. You have a piece of Whisper White again that fits right in between all of those tracks. And it's longer than we need on the top, okay? It's longer than we need on the top because it's going to be pulled up and down. Okay. Now, the last thing we need to do is we need to make some pencil marks. Well, it's not the last thing, but you know what I mean. With this track, oops, I got it a little crooked there. With this track, we need to make some pencil marks on the inside, crossing over that fold. Because we're going to slice it. We're going to slice it on the paper trimmer. You could also use an X-Acto knife. In fact, I don't know. Whatever you feel like you have more control with, use that. Now, I'm not sure if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to try and bring this forward. But I do need to be kind of careful with it. I need to really see what I'm doing. So you just take that left and right. Okay, until you hit the pencil mark. And you don't want to go any further. Oh, I got so close. I got so close to that one. I think I can finish it. I think I can finish both sides with I need my paper snips. Fun, right? Lois, you'd be really kind. They would be okay if I hadn't worn acrylics for, I don't know, over 10 years. In addition, I'm a horrible nail biter. So it's my dirty little secret usually. But it's all right. You know why? because I know you like me just like I am. I'll take it. No one's perfect. Okay, now, of course, you want to dry fit this, because what you really don't want to do is get this all made and then realize that this part that's supposed to be interactive is not. That is not good. And it should fit, it should be really snug, okay? So just be careful when you're trying, like I can tell right now, I need to cut that a little bit more. Trying to do this on the camera so you can see it, right? And just a little bit. Just try like little bits. Hello, Crafty Ray, Loriano, and Carolyn. Crafty Ray, I know I've seen your name come up before. It's very nice to have you here. Okay, so I think I got it this time, but I don't want to, there we go. I don't want to bend the paper. Okay, this is the beginning of what this is going to do, okay? You want to make sure that it comes out the top, and then see how I've cut it from the inside, so you can't see any of that handiwork on the outside. And it comes right to the edges. I don't know if you can see that, but you don't want it to be, if it's longer, it has a risk of falling apart, first of all, falling off the cover. But it also, the slider is going to flip around in there. So this is what it looks like on the inside, right? And then you're going to pull it. Now you're starting to see what we're talking about. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Now, the only thing is, we need a stop on the end of this thing. Or every time somebody pulls it, they're just going to pull it right out of the card. Okay, so let's make a little stop. This is where I think it would be better to have the card be a little bit wider. But again, we're going to work it out. I know, cool, right? We're making our own little interactive pieces. Now, the thing about this that's so fun, I think, is it can really be any size. You can do it portrait or landscape. I would, you know, if you're sizing something up, I would fit it to whatever stamp set you want to use. And whatever you like, you know. Next time I might do one that's landscape. Ah, Carolyn. Carolyn, we're making what's called a magic slider card. It is, you know, in cooking, you're familiar with the mother sauces. I would call this one of the mother fun fold cards. Oh, man. Okay, now hold it. Again, I want this to be right up on the edge, right? I want it to cover that tear and tape, but not go over. And then again, just like I did the other one, I'm going to have, I believe I need 2 layers on this. You may not, but we're going to go ahead and do it. You'd only send this to someone very, very special. Well, yeah, this is kind of a special card. It's a little more time. It's not a card for somebody who goes, cute card, and then throws it away. No. They get simple cards, don't they? This is for somebody who can, like, appreciate this. I might send this to, like, somebody who's into construction or an architect. Somebody who can really, like, appreciate the construction of it. And be like, wow, your lines are so straight. And you work so cleanly. Now, remember up here where I cut that so tight? That's also so that we don't have to make a huge stop on this thing. Right? Because you can't have the stop coming outside the card, because you're trying to make this look all-inclusive so that you don't really know what's going on. What's going on with it? Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing. She says beautiful colors. Thanks, Elizabeth. I'm a little worried about them, but okay, so what is that? Oh, that's going to come outside of the frame a little bit. Let's see. We're going to have to go with it. Okay, but when you pull this up, okay, then it stops. Which I don't think somebody's going to pull it all the way up anyway. That's kind of dumb. But if they do, it's all right. You can handle it. Now, the one thing I don't like about this, which you can see down here, is the stop comes into our frame. I think I know how I can fix that though. I think I know how I can hide that a little bit. Okay. One other thing that I probably should have done was trim this before I put the stop on it, because it's in there now. Oh no, I can take it out the bottom. I'm such a nut. Okay, everybody. See, I don't even know my own magic sometimes. So we don't want to trim it off because it has to be like a pull, but I want to make it nice and straight. And because, you know, the bottom of this might not be fully straight. It just depends on how it fits into your card. So anyway, okay, so now it'll be fine up here. And then we'll put some sort of a tab on it. I hope you guys can hang in with me to make this card. I realize that I started late and then I'm going a little late. You know, that's just how it goes sometimes, right? Okay, so let's set the tab over there, or the, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the slide. Let's set that over there. Now that we've got like all the mechanics of the card, we're gonna work with our acrylic sheet. Now, one important thing is don't put this on backwards, okay? It has to be sitting exactly over the sheet. So kind of get that in your mind where you need it to be, okay? And then we need our beautiful tear and tape again. And we're going to go around this side, so around the top part of the frame. It's quite involved, isn't it? I know. It's not like you can go out and party. I realize that. Oh, kind of a bummer, huh? You can just stay here then. That's right. This is, oh gosh, this is your party time. Oh, brother. Who is that? Can you hear that loud car? That irritates me as I get older. That I'm like, beat it, punk. I'm gonna go yell at him like an old lady. Get out of here. Get off my yard. He's not on my yard. I'm just kidding. Oh gosh. You know what? Yeah, anything goes. I am working from home tomorrow. That's always, I'm starting to really like that. In fact, I don't know, how long has it been? 6 weeks? And finally this past Monday, when I got up and I started working at my desk here, right here, I kind of like just came over here and started working like it was normal. Isn't that weird? But we can get used to all this strange stuff, and then they're going to change it on us, of course. And it might go a little crazy again. Okay, next time I'd definitely make this card a little bit bigger. There's like 0 allowance on either side, you know? And so for someone like me, if I cut anything just slightly off, okay, so right now what we have is we still have our frame, okay? And then we want to take all that backing paper off of this guy. Just be careful not to bend or rip the sides of it like I almost did when I was putting that down. Hi, Julie. Nice. Is he single? What? You mean that kid that just went driving by? Oh, brother. Yeah, I'll go out there and give him your number, Maria. I bet he likes Star Trek. Probably not. Do kids still like Star Trek nowadays? I don't know. Do they? Maybe. Okay. This is not time for laughing now. This is time for working. Okay. Go back to the card. Take your adhesive sheet. Remember, it's dried now. From the StazOn that we stamped. I want you to lay it right back over the image, and it needs to be exactly right over the image. And you know it will do that because you stamped it that way. Okay, I need to partake of some slush. One moment. Okay. No doubt, Roz. I agree with that. Then you're going to lift this up. Don't move the adhesive. I don't mean even a little bit. Start from one end. Start from the top. Okay. Bring it down. Okay. Now you've adhered. Well, hopefully I haven't adhered the card together. Maybe just a tiny bit. What? Oh, there we go. There's a little bit on there. You've adhered your adhesive, or your window sheet, I'm sorry, to the front. Okay. Now that's gonna, I can see where, again, this is cut just a little bit slimmer than I would like. So there's a little bit of tear and tape that's showing on either side, but that's okay because we're gonna put the pieces and parts together, remember? And then when you put it down, you want it to be, we're going to use adhesive on it anyway. So we're all good there. We're all good as long as I didn't glue that part shut. That would not be good. It may have folded over there just slightly. Let me make sure. Okay. I think probably making this card like 1/4 inch bigger all around would be a better idea. Because it can be done, but like I said, there's no leeway. Okay, now this goes in here, okay? You're going to set that right where you need it. Okay, no messing around, everybody. Now you're going to put tear and tape on the tracks that you made, except don't put it on the slide, okay? Just put it on the tracks. Oh, karma. Okay, now I like to have what I call the slide, the piece that's in the middle. I like to have it in there right now because I want to make sure I'm not gluing over any of it, because the whole thing has to move. And if it doesn't, then the trick is like not work. It doesn't work. So I like to have it in there. It's like, so I know exactly where I can and cannot put this tape. You definitely don't want to put it on your stops down at the bottom, or you won't be able to pull it up. But you want to have it close enough so that the card can seal completely. That's why it's really good to be using tear and tape. I don't think it would seal properly with snail. Now I'm going to take this left to right. And it fits right under the slide. Oh, I got lucky there. Okay, that fits right under the slide. And then, where's my take your pick tool? It was trying to roll off. Can you believe that? Oh, brother. Okay, and then we want to, this is really our final layer, and then we're going to work on much easier pieces, right? Now, anything that I should have mentioned this before I put this part over it, but before we do these few steps of putting this last layer of tape on, if you want to change anything in your picture, that's when you change it. Because you don't change it now because you're really sealing it in here. Okay. Okay, and with that, it's sealed in. All right, let me see if I can get this on the camera for you properly and show you. Okay, it might be a little stiff the first, it might be a little stiff the first couple times. Just 1 minute here. Oh gosh, it might be too close. I hope not. Okay, I just have to get it started like this for you. Then you reveal the color. It looks like it's black and white turning to color, right? I love it. Yay! Okay, super fun. I'm not going to pull that all the way out. Anyway, it's super fun. I love doing that. Okay, now I want to be super careful with this. I don't have a handle on it yet, so I'm trying to be careful with it. When I redo this or when I write the measurements for this, I'm going to make them bigger. I'm going to remake this card and make it bigger. And then because I'm like that it fits snug, but I'm afraid I'm going to break it. So no worries. I will write this up so it's a little bit bigger. It's fun though, isn't it? I know, ta-da is right. And then, of course, you can see the slide down there, but it's the same color. And we did it neatly, right? That's why you have to do all this stuff really neatly. Now, here's what I was thinking. I was going to put it up on this, and then we can just use snail. We don't need heavy duty. Oh, thank you for the loves, everybody. This is an oldie bitty goodie, right? I love the Magic Slide card. I'm going to give it a little bit of a backbone here. Now we're going to start like building it. And here was the thing I was thinking about doing on the front. I don't know if it would cover it too much, but these are the ornate layers. I believe they come with the stamp set. There are 2 bundles in this suite. And, well, thank you, Karen. So what I was thinking of doing was taking this and making like, it might be too big. Making like a frame on the outside of it. Boy, it'd be pretty. I think it'll be too much. But you could do that with the stitched rectangles, right? So you can do it with the stitched rectangles as well. And then so the final thing is I want to make a pull tab. And let me see. We do want to try and keep this so that it can fit in an envelope. This is kind of where it needs to be. It needs to be flat. So I'm thinking, this is so fun. I love the Magic Slider card. It's so fun, you guys. Oh, okay. Here's what I think I'll do, because it is 8:30. I think I will change the measurements out on this tomorrow night, get it all put up there, and then I'll include the instructions for the little tab at the same time. I think I'm just going to use a really fun punch. So anyway, oh my gosh, we made our card. I got it put together. It has a few kinks in its measurements, but other than that, I don't want to push too hard on this. Anyway, I'll show it like this, okay? So is this not fun? I hope that you guys want to try this. And like I said, just take it part by part, and then it comes together. So anyway, I will revise the measurements for you so there's a little more leeway on both sides, and I think that will work out really nicely. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and making the oldie but the goodie, the Magic Slider card. I hope I've demystified it for a few of you who may have not seen it before. Please keep me in mind if you're in the United States and you would like a catalog. Please keep me in mind if you would like to do one of the classes that I mentioned. And one of those, the Beautiful Gala, that has an international option. So there's a PDF only option for that class. That can be sent anywhere. And if you are not already signed up for my emails, if you would like to do that, please just send me a private message and request, give me your email, because that's where I post all of this stuff. But one of the most fun things, and actually I have a handout for this, if you don't mind waiting for me. I just remembered I had a handout for this, is I am having an international party on the last Friday of the month. And we're going to do an international Zoom pumpkin party. What do you think about that? So, it's free, first of all. You just have to, again, give me your email, and then I will email to you the Zoom address or the phone number, whatever you want to call it. And we're all going to craft together. I'm going to be using the May 2020 paper pumpkin kit. I don't have it yet, but I will. And this is the advertisement for next month's, which is a box of sunshine. So please watch for this more in the next few days on my page. I probably should get something up about it tonight, actually, because this is probably going to sell out. So this month's sold out as well. And this one is co-designed. It's designed by Sarah Douglas, the CEO. So at least I think she was part of the design. I don't think she said she solo designed it. However, the concept is a box of sunshine. And if you've never done that before, it is sending somebody a box of sunshine, which is a box full of yellow and orange items. So whether that's candy, pens, stickers, handmade cards, they're all yellow and orange for sunshine. And so this kit that's coming out, deadline to sign up is June 10th or while supplies last. This kit is going to be centered around that. You can see that it's going to be using some beautiful citrusy and pineapple and all sorts of fun yellow things. And then there's some supplies in the box so that you can literally turn the box into a shipping box and send someone a box of sunshine. I love it. So anyway, we're gonna kind of kick off the fun of this by working on the current month's Paper Pumpkin in an international Paper Pumpkin Zoom. And if that makes you nervous and you've never done a Zoom call before, I want you to send me an email because it's super easy, okay? I got it like that. And if I can get it like that, you can. Okay, and then finally, my little graphic that I forgot to show you. My beautiful graphic for the Butterfly Gala online class. So it's one of my favorite bundles, and I'm so glad it's carrying over, and I can't wait to design cards for you. So, all right, everyone, go forth. Spread your own sunshine, right? I hope to see you at the International Zoom Pumpkin Party. Hope to see you in my online classes, and I definitely hope to see you here next week at the same time. Have a good night.